Gilbert Arenas just went nuclear in defense of Kevin Durant, and the NBA community is reeling. In a shocking 30-minute shouting match on Gil's Arena, Arenas unleashed a tirade that's left fans and critics alike with their jaws on the floor. The former NBA star blasted haters who've been trashing KD's legacy, taking aim at everyone from Charles Barkley to Dennis Schroder. And let me tell you, he did not hold back. It's easy to pick on Kevin Durant. Arenas fumed, calling out the hypocrisy in how the NBA world treats KD compared to other superstars. He's got a point, doesn't he? When Steph Curry wins, it's all 4 rings, baby. But when it comes to KD, crickets. One fan tweeted, "Gilbert Arenas going off for KD is the bromance we never knew we needed," while another exclaimed, "Barkley and Shaq are shaking in their boots right now." But let's rewind and look at the ridiculous hate KD's been getting. First up, Dennis Schroder had the audacity to call Durant weak over some supposed jab at the German team. Seriously, Dennis, have you seen KD's stats? Then we've got Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal with their bus driver nonsense. Newsflash, Chuck, you're not even on the bus. And don't get me started on the fans. Some of y'all have been vile about KD's legacy. Did you forget he was Finals MVP twice with the Warriors? Arenas didn't just defend KD, he went off on the double standards in the league. He pointed out how LeBron James and Michael Jordan didn't get nearly as much hate for team hopping. Preach, Gil. "We give credit to the people who stayed home," Arenas ranted. Steph's Curry legacy. "We get to use 4 championships for his legacy. KD was part of 2, but he don't get his credit for those 2. Is Arenas spitting facts or what? The man's got a point. But here's where it gets really juicy. When Rashad McCants tried to compare KD's move to LeBron's The Decision, Arenas lost it. He went off like a firecracker on the 4th of July. One sports psychologist exclusively told us, Arenas' passionate defense of Durant reveals a deeper issue in how we judge athlete loyalty in the modern NBA. It's a complex topic that can't be boiled down to simple bus driver analogies. Fans are going wild over this rant. The hashtag #ArenasDefendsKD is trending worldwide, with supporters and critics alike weighing in on this explosive debate. One fan tweeted, "Gilbert Arenas just schooled the whole NBA. KD deserves more respect." While another posted, "Is Gil right, or is he just stirring the pot?" But the burning question remains, will this change how people view KD's legacy, or will the haters keep hating? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. As the NBA season approaches, all eyes will be on Durant to see if he can silence the critics once and for all. What do you think about Gilbert Arenas' passionate defense of KD? Is he right to call out the double standards, or are KD's critics justified? Sound off in the comments below and let us know where you stand in this explosive debate. Remember, you heard it here first. Keep it locked on our channel for all the latest updates on this developing story. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all the hottest NBA drama. The Olympics may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. Team USA brought home the gold, but now everyone's wondering, could we see some of these superstars teaming up in the NBA? LeBron and Steph lighting it up together, KD and Booker joining forces, the possibilities are endless. We've seen Olympic teammates become NBA powerhouses before, from the Heatless to the Warriors dynasty. Will Olympic chemistry lead to NBA championships? Let's break it down. Now for the question you know you've been dying to ask for 3 weeks about the Team USA men's basketball Avengers. With their gold medal mission accomplished, which players on this star-studded squad are going to join forces on an NBA team down the road? With the national team's rich history of such things, it's only natural to wonder. The Miami Heat-less trio of LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh that teamed up in 2010 had USAB roots, as they grew close while playing together in the 2006 FIBA World Cup in Japan and Beijing Olympics in 2008. The Golden State Warriors dynasty had a similar story, with Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala, and Stephen Curry bonding in Turkey at the FIBA World Cup in 2010, then finding a way to come together 6 years later. Iguodala and Durant were also together on the 2012 Olympic team in London. Just last week, longtime NBA veteran and ESPN commentator Kendrick Perkins claimed that James Harden, while playing for Team USA at the London Olympics, was strongly encouraged by his superstar teammates to leave his sixth-man role with the Oklahoma City Thunder that summer and pursue a more worthy role elsewhere. He would be the centerpiece of the Houston Rockets by that October. But the tricky part about this phenomenon, and the thing that makes it so hard to handicap whether we'll see a super team spawned out of the Paris Games, is that you'd need telepathic powers to figure out if any of these all-stars are truly thinking about playing together down the road. This sort of process isn't typically linear, with other developments needing to unfold on each player's respective NBA squad before those Team USA connections come into play. What's more, the freedom that comes with free agency, more often than not, plays a part. Yet when it comes to the relationships that appear to have grown these past 4 weeks, from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi, London, Lille, and the City of Light, there are a few worth highlighting and monitoring. But the thing to remember, and the factor that always plays a pivotal part when stars decide to align, is that it all starts with the competitive status of their current team. To that end, we begin with 2 legends in advanced age who have 8 NBA championships between them but whose teams missed the playoffs entirely last year. Let's talk about LeBron and Steph. This one gets top billing because of what went down at the February trade deadline when we learned Curry's Warriors made an unsuccessful bid to the Lakers for LeBron. That sort of breadcrumb, one that was so fascinating to consider after all the years they'd spent as rivals during all those Cavs-Warriors NBA Finals face-offs, tells you 2 things that still remain relevant. Curry had given a thumbs up to the idea, which reflects a level of comfort between the two, even before they worked so beautifully together en route to Olympic gold. The Warriors clearly had intel suggesting this was a pitch worth making. At the time, James was approaching his possible free agency, and there seemed to be enough questions as to whether he'd want to stay in Lakerland that it led to a conversation between Golden State owner Joe Lacob and the Lakers' Jeannie Buss. At the time, James signaled he'd rather stay put, and the whole idea died on the vine as a result. But he would go on to sign a 2-year, $100 to $1.4 million deal, one that includes a player option in the second year and a no-trade clause. Point being, the same Warriors-Lakers dynamics could be there again this upcoming season, especially if the Lakers are struggling in the kind of way that makes James rethink his strategy in these final few years. As a relevant side note, Team USA, our Warriors coach Steve Kerr, seemed to click with James all the way through as well. There's one massive problem with that plan though. Bronny James now plays for the Lakers. It's hard to imagine LeBron wanting to go anywhere now that his son is wearing the purple and gold. So, could the 36-year-old Curry become so fed up with the diminished help around him in Warriors world that he heads for the exits and somehow pairs up with the 39-year-old James and fellow Team USA star 31-year-old Anthony Davis? It seems unlikely, what with Curry's stated goal of playing his entire career with the Warriors. But he's a competitor of the highest order, one who just saw his team say goodbye this summer to his beloved backcourt mate Klay Thompson, this summer while failing in its pursuits of Paul George and Lauri Markkanen. With that backdrop, it's worth a reminder that he made this ominous comment to Yahoo Sports' Vincent Goodwill while at Team USA's Las Vegas training camp in early July. "It's always been my goal, and I'm saying that sitting in this chair right now," Curry said about retiring with the Warriors. But like you said, life, and especially life in the NBA, it is a wild environment and things change quickly. In terms of Curry's contract, he has 2 seasons left, $55.8 million and $59.6 million, and is eligible to add 1 more year on an extension this summer. Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. made it clear what the organization wants, telling our Anthony Slater that Curry can have whatever he wants, and that he is pretty confident he will be a Warrior for life. The fact that they clearly enjoyed each other's company, constantly goofing around at practices and celebrating with such joy together after the biggest of wins, is of equal importance. When it was over, after Curry put France to bed with that 3-point flurry and said nuit nuit before closing the door, James decided to post the picture that perfectly captured their shared spirit. The news conference after the Team USA gold medal game, with Kerr, Curry, and Kevin Durant all raving about one another on the same podium, was the kind of thing I never could have imagined 5 years ago. It happened from start to finish, with Durant and Curry sharing a Mutual Admiration Society news conference at the start of the Olympics as well. When Durant left Golden State for Brooklyn in free agency, there was a fair amount of shared baggage from their 3 years spent together. You don't have to be Dr. Phil to figure that out, as Durant came very close to winning 3 consecutive championships, within a torn Achilles tendon in fact, yet chose to head for the exits. But feelings evolve over time, and Curry and Durant spent the entire Team USA journey sharing the kind of deep reverence that was there during the best of times in their Warriors days. On Curry's side, it was notable the first-time Olympian would routinely reference Durant's 3 gold medals, now 4, and standing as the best Team USA player of all time. Durant, in turn, spoke glowingly about who Curry was and remains both on and off the floor. Yet while the Warriors are clearly on the prowl for another big-time star, and with a known commodity like Durant certainly fitting that bill, Phoenix Suns owner Matt Ishbia emphatically insisted the 35-year-old wasn't going anywhere in late June in response to speculation of a possible Durant departure. NBA draft night is the best. Everyone talking about the drama and storylines, some are right and some are just wrong. Matt Ishbia said, "My turn. Phoenix loves Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant loves Phoenix, and we are competing for a championship this year because we have the team to do it. Gotta." But how might Ishbia feel if they fall short again? Or Durant, fellow Team USA member Devin Booker, or Bradley Beal for that matter? Only time will tell, but the Suns' first-round loss to Minnesota in last season's playoffs wasn't the sort of start any of them envisioned in their first season together. When the gold medal game news conference was nearing an end, after they all fielded several questions about Curry, Durant, and James, Kerr grabbed the microphone and announced that he had one more thing on his mind. "Devin Booker is an incredible basketball player," said Kerr, who chose to start Booker for every Olympic game en route to him, averaging 11.7 points, team best 56.5% from 3, and 3.3 assists. Nobody asked about him, but he was our unsung MVP. I just wanted to say that. Curry, in turn, posted Kerr's quote on his Instagram story and added the caption, "Damn straight," while tagging Booker's account. For someone like Kerr, who is typically bound by the NBA's tampering rules that tend to suppress an opposing coach's public enthusiasm for another team's stars, the Team USA environment allows him to speak his mind in the kind of way that could aid a recruiting effort one day. That's not to say it was his intent, as Kerr seemed deeply genuine about Booker's contributions. Even still, it's a pretty convenient way to show a star player like Booker the kind of love he'll never forget. What's more, the truth about the Suns is that rival teams are monitoring the desires of Durant and Booker. The Rockets, to cite one example I reported in late June, are among those teams that have Booker on their wish list. But again, Ishbia has pushed back hard on this premise that these Suns will fail, and he'll be forced to blow it up amid all that pressure from the unforgiving luxury tax. They're more invested in Booker than anyone else, with his contract running 4 more seasons for a combined total of approximately $220 million, and the notion of him being available anytime soon seems very unlikely. To hear Booker tell it at Team USA's Vegas training camp in early July, he's every bit as invested in this Suns group as Ishbia. "I mean, I've never seen an owner do something like that before," Booker said when I asked him about Ishbia's tweet about Durant. "It just shows you what type of guy Matt is. He's all in on the group that we have. We believe in the group that we have and the talent that we have. It's not easy to win a title. So I think having that hurt together and that experience together in the playoffs is going to help us moving forward." Boston went through it before winning it all in June. Obviously, the Celtics addition of Drew Holiday last summer helped out a lot. But yeah, moving forward, you live and you learn, and I think experience is the best teacher. Truth be told, we could workshop these fascinating scenarios all day. Anthony Edwards and Durant became fast friends who were dynamic together in Team USA's second unit. So does that mean the 23-year-old Minnesota Timberwolves star might find a way to persuade his favorite player to force a trade to his frigid part of the country? Don't count on it, from either side. After Minnesota's run to the Western Conference Finals last season, and with Edwards' star on a meteoric rise, it's so far so good for him with his current core. Joel Embiid was desperately in need of help a few months ago, but the Philadelphia 76ers are all set for their next push after landing George in free agency and re-signing Tyrese Maxey. Could Heat big man Bam Adebayo, whose running mate, Jimmy Butler, can be a free agent next summer, find the help he so desperately needs among his Team USA pals? Perhaps, but there are no visible dots to connect just yet. Cheryl Swoops breaks silence on Angel Reese, luring Gabby Williams to Chicago Sky. If there was one person who won all hearts with her exemplary performance in the Olympic gold medal game, it was Gabby Williams. In a contest that had neck-to-neck competition, Williams brought back the French time and again into the game. Seeing her performances, Chicago Sky star Angel Reese asked her if she would like to join the Chicago Sky. But Williams' answer was sturdy, since she had had her share of experiences while playing for the Sky from 2018 to 2021. Taking a look at their conversation on X, WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops has come to the fore to share her take. Swoops was present during the Queens of the Court podcast on Tuesday when she expressed her views on the entire Williams-Reese saga, and fans were excited to know how highly Swoops thinks of Williams. I knew we'd get to Gabby later, cause, yeah, I saw Dearica Hamby, Angel Reese reaching out like, Gabby, wanna come back to Chicago?
Anything away from what she's done, but if you're talking about breaking records, then if this player did it in this amount of time, then you should do it in that same amount of time. So that's my thought on that.
Dearica was like, no, but I asked first. Without question, Gabby Williams needs to be in the league. She needs to go play somewhere. She's beautiful to watch, Swoops stated via the Queens of the Court podcast. Williams was the 4th overall pick during the 2018 WNBA draft by the Chicago Sky. The Nevada-born plied her trade for 3 seasons with the Sky before being traded to the Los Angeles Sparks in 2021. Williams, who was known for supporting the team in her limited capacity with rebounds and offensive scoring, was unfortunately placed on the suspension list by the Sky. The then Chicago Sky head coach James Wade argued that Williams didn't consider the WNBA franchise as a priority, which led him to take the drastic step as per the Mirror. She then played for the Los Angeles Sparks in 2022 and 2023 season. However, posts that she hasn't been able to represent the Dearica Hamby-led team during the current WNBA season due to the league prioritization rule, which demands that unsigned free agents should finish their off-season activities and join the training camp. Williams, who had already decided to play for the French national team, let the opportunity to play in the WNBA slip, but has confirmed that she will be back next season. Meanwhile, Reese had written a tweet on X to lure Williams. Angel Reese tries her best to get Gabby Williams observing Williams' performance for the French team, helping them make comebacks in the game with her brilliant 19 points and 7 rebounds. Reese took to X to ask Williams if she would like to represent the Sky once again. Okay, now that the game is over, would you like to be a part of the Chicago Sky again? Reese tweeted on Sunday. To which Williams responded, or we could just play together for a different organization, hinting at her discomfort in joining her former team. Williams also expounded, they did me dirty, girl, but I am still your biggest fan. And Reese replied, them folks not here no more, but okay, I get it, thank you, sister girl, see you soon. Referring that Teresa Weatherspoon had taken over as the head coach for the team, and the environment was different. Hopefully, for Reese and Williams fans, she will definitely make a comeback to the WNBA in 2025. Till then, Team USA fans can remember her as the girl who nearly snatched the Olympics gold and could have restricted the USA from winning their 8th consecutive medal. Gabby Thomas's face said it all. As she crossed the finish line in front of a bellowing 80,000-strong crowd, the new Paris 2024 Women's Olympic 200-meter champions expression encapsulated the entirety of a night filled with shocks, surprises, and wow moments at the Stade de France.
I know, we're so happy. I can't believe it. I mean, I spoke it into existence. I know I trained really hard for it, and it's such an indescribable feeling. But I am so happy. I can't believe it, and yeah.
Yeah, you literally broke out into tears. It literally made me tear up. All of the work that you put in.
Yeah.
What is that moment like? Truly?
I mean, it really is 6 years, I think, for me, of working for this moment. We didn't want Tokyo to be my first Olympics. or we didn't want this to be my first Olympics. We wanted Tokyo to be the first one to train and be prepared for the Paris Olympics and go for gold this year. And everything just went according to plan. We did everything right. It's so many hours and weeks and months of hard work that people don't see, and so I really do feel like I earned it. But at the same time, I can't believe that I have an Olympic gold medal right now. It's surreal. Thank you.
I'm really in disbelief because having an Olympic gold medal is something in my wildest dreams, she said. But at the same time, I know how hard I've fought for it. This has been 6 years in the making, head down, working hard, going to really hard meets, pushing yourself, and now it's here and I've done it. This is the happiest moment of my life. Thomas had entered the Tuesday 6 August final as the favorite, but that didn't temper her outpouring of emotions as she crossed the finish line first in front of 100-meter gold medalist Julianne Alfred of St. Lucia, 22.08, and Thomas's fellow American Brittany Brown, 22.20. At Tokyo 2020, Thomas walked away with a bronze 200-meter and silver 4x100-meter, but the gold of her dreams was elusive. This night, though, would be different.
I want to say that
The 27-year-old burst out of the blocks, hurtling through the first 100-meter as she caught and overtook Alfred on the lane outside of her. As she blazed down the finishing straight, Thomas built a commanding lead as her formidable top-end speed took her all the way through the finish line. Thomas must have known she was favored heading into the race, but those tags mean nothing when the pressure builds and 7 other world-class sprinters are all putting their heart and soul into winning gold. However, the sight of familiar faces in the crowd gave the now 3-time Olympic medalist the boost she needed to fight her way to the top of the podium. When I walked out in this stadium, and I knew I had all my friends and family here, I just knew that I had it, she said. It was a confidence that you can't really describe. Of course, there was pressure, but I felt confident. Even with that confidence, the look of disbelief on her face spoke as much as any interview she will give in the coming days.
Yeah, it is a really crazy feeling. There is nothing can prepare you for that moment when you're walking out and you see and you hear everybody cheering for you. Absolutely, and I walk into each race kind of thinking that and telling myself that this is my race and having that confidence. I realized it, a few meters before the finish line, that I was like, okay, this is my race. I actually did do this. And immediately so many emotions came. Let myself enjoy this moment for now, but there are always going to be things that I want to accomplish and things that I want to do and work towards. And so once I kind of get past this meet and do my relays, I think I'll be thinking about that. But for now, I'm really excited about this gold medal, and I'm still working towards a couple more.
Yeah, right. We got some relays. We got some work to do. We're thrilled for you, Gabby.
Thank
you so much for sharing your story, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see what's...
This gold meant everything. Thomas's story isn't just about sprinting, even if that coveted Olympic gold may be the most thrilling chapter so far in her tale. The Harvard University graduate has a master's degree in public health and studied the sleep patterns of ethnic minorities as part of her postgraduate course. After Tuesday night, though, she may just struggle to find that good night's rest she so strongly advocates for. The evening's gold will no doubt be a life-changing experience for Thomas. However, she wants to use her new platform to inspire the next generation of girls who have dreams as big as the ones that took her to Paris 2024. I want young girls to look at us as strong female athletes and feel like they can do it too, she said in a news conference after the race. I want them to feel they're encouraged to go into professional sports. I want them to feel encouraged to pursue their dreams, no matter how big or small. After Tuesday night's victory, there's little doubt she will achieve that goal. Academics were always a priority for Thomas, who told NBC News she was inspired to succeed at the highest level by her single mother, who waitressed and took classes to become a professor while raising Thomas and her brother. Her hard work paid off with admission to Harvard University, where she studied neurobiology with a minor in global health and health policy and a citation in French. One of the classes she took on disparities in the U.S. healthcare system and how they impact people of color would lead her to pursue a master's in public health at the University of Texas, which she completed in May 2023. But college wasn't all studying for Thomas. It's also where her track career began in earnest. According to her official Olympics profile, She won a whopping 22 conference titles in 6 different track events while she was a student and became the first NCAA sprint champion in Ivy League history with a winning time of 22.38 seconds in her now signature 200-meter race. Thanks to her performance in that same event at the Paris Games, Thomas is the first Harvard grad to win a gold medal in the Olympics for track and field. As part of her master's program, Thomas wrote a paper on sleep epidemiology, how different populations sleep, and the barriers to good sleep faced by Black people in particular. So you could say she's super familiar with the importance of clocking quality shut-eye. It is most definitely the most important part of my training, and I can't stress that enough, Thomas told AP News. She reportedly begins her sleep routine by 8 p.m. most nights, turning off all her digital devices. Further proof of her passion for health equity, Thomas also began volunteering at Volunteer Healthcare Clinic when she was completing her graduate program and has continued to support the free and charitable clinic while training for the Olympics. To others, it might seem like a burden to tack volunteer work onto an already busy training schedule. But Thomas told Olympics.com that she loves having something completely different to focus on. Not to mention the opportunity to help others, which she says she is so grateful to be doing. During her shifts, Thomas reportedly calls patients to be sure they attend their appointments and follow doctors' orders like monitoring their blood pressure, and she surveys them on their experiences at the clinic. She told NBC News that in the future, she'd like to run a hospital or nonprofit to expand access to health care. Shortly before Thomas headed to the Olympic trials for the Tokyo Games in 2021, she got an MRI of her lower back in search of answers about hamstring pain. What the doctors found was a tumor on her liver, though it wasn't clear if it was cancerous. While undergoing additional tests and awaiting more clarity, she continued to train, which she reportedly said was crazy mentally. The good news came just before she headed to Eugene, Oregon, for the trials. It was benign. As she told the Washington Post, she had made a promise to God during the period of uncertainty. "If I am healthy, I'm going to go out and win trials." And that she did, with a nearly record-breaking time of 21.61 seconds, her personal best, until she shaved off 1/100th of a second for a 21.60 finish at the USA Championships in 2023. Thomas isn't lacking when it comes to a support squad at the Games. Her SO, Spencer McMains, has been spotted in Paris in a Team Gabby shirt, along with his sister and parents. According to Town & Country, the two have likely been dating since October 2022 and probably met in Austin, where Thomas has lived and trained during and after wrapping up her masters. As for McMains, he was once a college athlete himself, playing on Yale's football team. In the hobbies section of Thomas's Olympics profile, it just mentions Rico, which is honestly icon behavior. She told Women's Running that she adopted the dog when she moved to Austin and didn't have any people friends yet, and she called him her savior during tough times in her grad program or on the track. Luckily for us, Rico has his own Instagram account. Unluckily for him, it doesn't seem like he got to make the trip to Paris with her. What do you think was going through Gabby's mind as she crossed that finish line? How do you think her story can inspire other athletes? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from the world of sports. Your engagement helps us bring you more amazing content. See you in the next video.